Hit the A, not, idiot.
Yeah, welcome to the Shrimp and Grits podcast, a very special episode with a very special intro. This is so Keith is out of town, so we're doing this is a dad pod, and we got comedians Alex Barbag and Phil Mike.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello. Both recent fathers, but let's not get into it first. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're more than just dads.
Yeah, let's forget the
philanthropists.
Sure, whatever you. Yeah.
Are you a philanthropist?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever really
I think
donated.
if you've given money, you're a philanthropist.
I'm not sure that's the requirement. Is that it?
I don't. Well, philanthropy is just giving money to somebody, right?
Do you give money to homeless people often?
I've done it.
Or do you not have cash?
Sorry,
I don't have cash.
I've not had cash for a long time.
For a few years, I haven't had cash. But I used to give like $1 or $2. No, $1. Never
$2.
Yeah. Now I think you have to give $2. I would imagine.
Yeah. They know that inflation is like, this is not what it used to get.
I want to carry around just $2 bills to hand to homeless people.
You think they'd take it seriously?
I honestly think they might think it's fake.
Yeah. I agree.
And be like, this isn't real money. And I'm like, well, here's a dollar coin.
They would probably be like accosted at the when they would go to use it. They would probably not be able to use it. They're like, what?
No, you can use them.
No, I know it's real money, but people would be like suspicious of a person who looks like they're experiencing homelessness.
Right, with a $2 bill. That's true. Yeah, well, I don't know what kind of person even has a $2 bill.
Grandparents. They're like, here's your $2 bill for your birthday.
Yeah, stamp collectors, historians.
It's worth more than the value.
Fourth graders, I think, have $2 bills. Like they just have them.
We went to Washington, D.C.
Well, if you have a $2 bill and you have a fourth grader, you're giving him that $2 bill for sure.
Right, exactly.
That's just being a good dad, which brings us to our topic. I'm just kidding.
Oh, hey.
It's cool segues, huh?
Yeah, I'm
kind of high, to be honest. I feel like I won't have many segues.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Anyway.
Segues are stupid.
All right, you guys both just had kids. Alex, you have 2 kids now, right?
No, I got one.
Okay, well, you have the energy of somebody who's really tired.
But maybe another one on the way.
Whoa.
Wait, so you have a daughter?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 22 months or so.
22 months.
Yeah.
Still, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she's not 2, so I can't say 2. And she's way older than 1.
I guess that's a good point.
He's going to stop counting months at 2 years, right? Don't say
Probably.
25 months.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I make a joke about myself how I'm like 36 and 3/4.
Yeah, but that's because you're
36 and 3/4. Oh, you're years old?
Mm?
Oh,
yeah. Well, it's really 11/12 at this point. What? I'm like actually getting really close to my birthday.
When's your birthday?
June 18th.
Okay. And what's your sign?
Gemini.
All right, cool. I don't care about that. I don't even know what to ask about it. Does
Yeah.
that make you a bad person?
Yeah.
Okay. yeah, I could always
bad.
tell, I guess, that it can make sense.
I actually thought, like, obviously, I think, not obviously, but I think astrology is stupid because, like, I'm a person, smart person. I think maybe it does matter what time you're born because, like, you then get that much amount of sun at a certain stage of your development. Like, my daughter was born in July, and like the days are longer, so there's like more time to get her out, get more sun on her. Maybe there's developmental differences because of that.
Do you actually believe that though, or is it just like you're like theoretically it's possible?
Oh yeah, theoretically it's possible.
Yeah, it does sound. Well, then again, the moon can move the ocean. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody say that to me once. And I was
anything
like, I don't
is
believe in
possible.
that stuff.
That's right, Kevin Garnett.
All you have to be is the size of the moon. Do you? Well, that's stupid. Anyway, Phil, you have a child as well.
I have a youngling. He's 3. He's 14 and a half weeks old.
See, that's so young.
It is young, yeah, but he's, we're...
You should be with him instead of here.
Yeah.
It's possible that should be the case.
Poor wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. She enjoyed it was a good day, and so it was like he's like had a good like spurt today where he's like extra like sort of chatty.
Yeah.
And so it was like actually really fun, and I think she's having a good time with him.
What are the odds you don't do things? Like, what are the odds you didn't make it here today because of just baby and wife stuff?
0.
Wow, dedicated.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, I say that
Or
in the
not to the kid, you know,
Yeah, I
and the
mean,
wife, but to what you want to do.
When I say that is like, yeah, someone would be like really sick. Like that's like something really bad would be happening, like completely like unexplained. We have to go to the doctor.
Of course.
Yeah, other than that, like, I mean, no, even if he was like, because I try to like steer the day and plan it out so that like by the time I'm leaving, there's not much I need to do until I get back. So it's like I've been
the bare minimum.
Yeah. It's like I folded. I did his laundry. I did half of his laundry today.
You fold like the tiniest clothes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of
All
laundry
that
at
up.
all.
No, well, it's so he's got 6 little like buckets that he has like little different items of clothing in, and you just like roll it. Yeah, you just roll it up.
What does he have other than onesies and socks?
Okay, so he's got socks. Okay,
I said that already.
he's got onesies.
I said that too.
Those are the only things he said.
Okay, so I'm starting with what we common ground. Okay, I'm not gonna go crazy. And then he's got like special items. We got a lot of clothes from Emily's sisters, who already had like 5 kids. So they just sent us duffel bags of clothes. So like
onesies and socks.
and like stuff with pants. So he'll have like little baby pants and like a onesie that goes with it. So he has like also like short sleeve things. So it's like onesies, socks, pants, like long sleeved things,
shirts,
and then like shirts.
Shirts.
He's got shirts.
The long sleeve things are shirts. Though.
Yeah, they are. But then there's like
But do they button below his little
yeah.
dick?
Oh, they
That's
have to.
That's a onesie.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but it's like when a girl. I mean, girls wear that as
It's like
adults.
a romper.
Yeah,
it's like a romper. He's got like 20 rompers basically, like
Hell
little
yeah.
overalls, like little specialty items that aren't just like the onesies that you throw on. So that's like a bucket in of itself.
Fashionable little guy.
Yeah, he looks good.
Now, Alex, you abuse your daughter pretty openly on social media.
I don't abuse her. I expose her to life.
No, I do enjoy watching your videos. Most of them are private, though, I guess. So all these listeners, they're not even going to be able to see the videos I'm talking about.
Yeah. I had to go private because people they're too scared. I think this next generation. I don't know if I'm exposed to like parents who are like so nervous about their kids. It's crazy. I'm like, they're just scared of their kids doing any little thing,
getting hurt, doing anything.
Yeah. I know this one parent who the kid fell. The kid was like 4 years old. The kid fell onto a carpet like in a house, and he was fine. But the mom was like, "Oh no, are you okay? Oh, come here." And the kid was like,
Then he starts crying.
yeah, he's like, "Oh, maybe I am hurt."
Yeah, I guess I'm hurt.
Yeah. Then this kid, a few weeks later, was in a pool. I was in a pool with him at my parents' house, and the dad was in the pool, and he like didn't look at his kid for a second, and then the kid was like drowning for a second, like just kind of bobbing, like this, and then I actually saved the kid.
Wow.
And then the kid was so pissed at his dad. He's like, "I was calling out to you." The kid was underwater calling out at 4. He can't swim. Which in Florida is unheard of.
Did you like give the dad because it's kind of emasculating to be the guy who saves his
I didn't
son.
tell
Did
them.
you wait a couple extra, maybe 30, 40 seconds?
Oh.
Yeah, good thing I was here.
Yeah.
One of those.
No, I did look at the kid for a second, thinking like, I thought the kid was just messing around. I'm like, "Oh, good one, good one, kid." "Oh, I'm just floating here, drowning." I thought that was
so crazy.
That was a bit.
How do you let a 4-year-old in the water who doesn't know how to swim? Like no floaties?
It's a good point. And how come the kid wasn't drowning before his dad stopped looking?
He was on the stairs too. He was on the stairs.
Oh, he dove in.
He was he was like, there was 3 stairs, and he was on stair 2, and then he somehow was on stair 3, but he wasn't on stair 3, and he was just floating above stair 3.
Stair 3 is a big step in a young man's life.
Yeah.
And this kid had a swim t-shirt on, but it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock. You can't even get. I mean, maybe you have to wear that because you're pale.
I'm not sure you're a different skin tone than me.
I think I'm.
I mean, I
less-
shouldn't say that because on camera it'll be really obvious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're paler. You almost are
pretty pale.
redheady.
Do you think you have a little more Well, you definitely have more. Do you think it's more Judaism?
Yeah.
You have like the maximum amount, right?
Yeah, I couldn't get more
Yeah.
Judaism.
Well, you could figure out a way. I bet.
Yeah.
You know? Start
The
collecting.
power of Moses compels you.
And Phil, you're not white.
That's up for debate.
Yeah.
Up for debate. I've had many conversations with people. I went to Home Depot with my mom yesterday, and this guy who was Asian, Eastern Asian, I believe, he asked me if I was Indian, and my mom was right there, and all she did was laugh. So
You could have an Indian dad, but your parents are both white?
they're both Greek. Yeah,
They're both Greek.
My
but they
mom
look really Greek.
Yeah, my mom looks Mediterranean. I mean, this is a version of Mediterranean, but this is like the dark version. So, yeah, no one ever thinks I'm Greek. Very rarely do they.
How do you use that in your life? Honestly,
Deception, games, nothing valuable. Just tricking.
not even like college.
I said Greek American.
Does anybody give a fuck about
No.
that? Yeah, I didn't
No one
think so.
cares. I mean, our greatest works were 5,000 years ago, so no one. It's not even a boost.
Which were those?
Democracy,
Okay,
philosophy.
that's a good one.
Oh yeah,
Have they done anything since the Euro? Well,
complained. We almost crashed the euro. Maybe I don't know. We became.
I don't mean I meant the food,
Oh yeah, the food's great.
not the Euro. I guess they're.
Oh, I thought you meant the euro, as in like
Right, like
the currency. Yeah. But no, I mean Greeks have been doing good stuff, but they have been sort of resting a little bit, and I think it's going to be a big millennium for them.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
For
we're
you.
only
Looking up. It's
yeah,
looking up.
We're only 23 years into it, so we got 973 to go.
Yeah, nice math.
Yep.
Greeks came up with math?
A
Seems
lot
like
of them
they did
did.
based
Yeah,
on that.
I mean, I think Greeks and Arabs. Yeah.
I've
Did that sound offensive? I don't know.
But I don't. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know, usually, this podcast is me just going, Keith, what do black people think?
Yeah.
What do they think? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
How did you guys? All right.
How did we meet? Well,
yeah.
actually, funny story. Okay, no, sorry. What?
So, all right. Your wife tells you they're pregnant.
How did we become fathers?
No, like how did? What was your reaction? I think I get the first part. I feel like I understand.
All right, well, I could
You
have shown.
yeah.
Not with this guy. How did that
Barbag
happen?
fucks like that turtle on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about?
Franklin? I don't know.
He's like, oh, you know.
I
no?
can
What's
see
wrong with
that.
that?
I just feel like you have a turtle's
Yeah,
essence.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not.
See, now that we're over the hump, it's like, hey, whatever. Maybe that's how I fuck. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, there's no need to
I'm a
like.
successful fucker, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
yeah.
Yep.
But all right, so let's start with you, Alex. She tells you she's pregnant, and are you like, there's no fucking way?
Well, it wasn't like she knew without me knowing. She was like, I think I might be pregnant. I haven't had a period in a bit. And so we went to go get a pregnancy test kit, bunch of them. And then she went in the bathroom and she came out and she's like, oh, it's not good.
It's the worst news we've ever had.
And then she tried a few more, and then I tried a pregnancy stick too
As a baseline. Yeah.
You tried to pee on her that tested positive just to like wipe it out. Be like, maybe
Yeah.
you would like erase it.
You find out you're pregnant. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what a twist that would be.
Yeah, that would be so.
How many did she take?
like 5.
That's probably
Wow.
normal. How many did yours take?
One.
Really?
Well, we were happy.
Yeah.
No. I think Emily knew. And so it didn't take much. She might have taken 2 just to be safe.
Were you planning? Like, were you expecting it? Were you trying at that moment?
We know that, like, no one knows exactly how they'll get pregnant, and we basically casually tried for like a few months.
Casual married sex.
Yeah,
At
just
3 p.m. on Thursdays exclusively.
Yeah, just hanging out. But no, I think it wasn't a huge effort because I don't think we wanted to put that pressure on ourselves because I think that would have gotten in our heads.
I almost feel like getting married is kind of like green lighting having a kid, even accidentally.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. So, Frankie, turn off your ears. Luckily, he can't hear for
I think
another.
he listens.
To
the pod?
He'll listen, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's good to like hear conversation, like his for his like development. So I think that
Yeah,
would be
start
good.
playing him. Yeah, our podcast like it's Bach.
Yeah, at least I can like plug it on his head, so then like he can listen to it while I like do
Right.
dishes or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Alex is kind of anti-Semitic, ironically.
Yeah. But no, so our story was basically Emily's sister and her family was in town visiting us. And they have 3 kids who are like 7, 3, and 2 at the time. And they are fantastic kids. And they were kids in our house. And Emily and I, like, you know, are married, but like we don't have any experience with like kid like living with us, that type of stuff. They would like pick up stuff that I was like, where did you get that from? And like all this type of stuff that's like full blown kid stuff. And then the day they leave, Emily tells me she thinks she's pregnant. And I'm like, I believe you. Like I had no other reaction than, oh my God, yeah, sure.
How long were they there?
4 days. It's not like we
You think
had
our hormones like
well
got pregnant because of it?
There are no. I mean, I think there was like a real
Scientifically?
thing, but at that point, she was probably like a month pregnant. But there were some like biological things that happen, and where she was like, "Yeah, I've had these for a few days. I didn't want to say anything for."
At these what?
Actually, well, there are certain parts of your body that
motioning boobs.
yeah, there's certain parts of your body that evolve a little bit during a pregnancy, and she's like, "This is different, and I think I'm pregnant."
Did you notice?
No, I mean, I was like with the, I don't know, I was too busy like watching the kids like rub their dirty hands into like our carpet.
Were you
and
grossed
stuff like
out
that.
by those kids?
No, it was just like culture shock, you know? I mean, like, I know crazy stuff happens, and that wasn't even crazy. It was just like going from that to like, oh, this is our reality as soon as it could have possibly happened.
Yeah, that's true.
The first 24 hours, we were like, oh my God, like this is a huge change.
Oh boy.
So it was shock. It was definitely like shock, like, oh my gosh.
You were did you do shows that night? The night you found out she was pregnant?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what those emotions would
I
be
can
like.
check on my phone.
When
probably.
was it? When?
June 9th. It actually was like June 18th, June 19th last year.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably celebrating my birthday.
Is that Juneteenth?
June 19th is Juneteenth.
Dude, it was the day, it was the Sunday before Juneteenth. I know this because we didn't tell anybody.
Because we were planning on protesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the weekend to prepare.
I was
You
really
want to steal the thunder from Juneteenth?
Yeah, and I went golfing on Juneteenth. Please don't read into anything if that was a celebration or not. That was just how I enjoyed the day. And I was
Kind of
playing,
seems like the one place you won't find any black people, but that's just me. But
just hanging out. And I ended up telling the like party I was with, because they didn't know. I mean, they don't know me. I was just like, yeah, I just found out my wife's pregnant yesterday. And then they gave me some advice and stuff like that. And they were
Advice is the worst.
it was actually like good enough advice, because it was like they were just golfers, so they didn't give a shit. They just said like, don't be hungover.
that's stupid.
Yeah, that is stupid.
I thought it was actually pretty good. I don't know.
I gave you one piece of advice. Do you remember it? Is it okay if I bring up my own topic?
Oh, please do. I mean, literally, one of the things I'm curious about is like, did you like help him through? Like, you guys are having babies like the exact same time, just about.
Yeah. Yeah, I told him one piece of advice. I tell this to every upcoming father or mother or non-binary birthing parent or whatever it's called. I don't know.
That seems right.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
It was that you could refrigerate all of the pumping, the breast milk pumping equipment, so you don't have to keep washing it. Like we had a little bit, and we had to keep we had 2 pumps, 2 bottles, 2 nipples, 2 flanges, and you're tired and you have to keep washing it. But if you just put it in the fridge, you wash it way less, and that.
Wow.
Oh, you mean because it doesn't go bad in there? It
Yeah.
doesn't go sour in there.
Yeah, so like if
it's not the milk, it's the parts that you use. So basically,
Right, but I'm saying it keeps the milk that's in those parts from souring. Is that what you're saying?
whatever
Oh,
little
okay.
bits are in all those parts, just like the little droplets.
That seems like a nifty thing to know, but also I feel like you should probably just be washing them, right?
We were washing them all the time, but you don't wash like anything in the fridge that's, like it's clean for a while.
It's one of those things where it's like if you're pumping up to 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day, like you get really tired of it. That's like one of the big things that Emily's been really tired of is pumping and stuff like that.
I heard
and
it hurts.
Like
after a while,
I
like
think
you
pumping
just like,
doesn't.
my tits, they're raw.
But breastfeeding, I think, does.
Oh.
Especially when the dad is like, hey, let me in on that.
I'll have what she's having. Well, I still feel uncomfortable around breastfeeding, and I feel like that's wrong, and I shouldn't.
What do you
and
mean,
I think
in public?
I'm uncomfortable even speaking to women. Mostly, I think I look when I see boobs, I just go, "Oh my god, what do I do?" And I feel like I'm part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, that's a normal thing to think. I mean, I think it's also a little weird when you see your peers who are breastfeeding and you're like, yee, like that's like you're kind of like mixing worlds, you know?
Yeah.
But I will say this, like when Emily has breastfed or was trying to and stuff like that, like you know, there'd be relatives there, and like there's just like a certain reality where you're just like, I mean, you just got to.
It's like a window of time where you can just be tits out.
That's
and
right.
Everyone's like, yeah, it's necessary.
Oh yeah, you should know what giving birth is like. Then it is a certain period of time where other parts of you are out, and everyone is just a welcome guest.
Where were you both standing during the birth?
Well, I was at
By the
yours.
head.
yeah. Where were you? Okay,
By my wife's head, so I didn't see nothing.
Right.
really,
Where were you?
dude. I had a integral role. It was because
Did you like receive the baby?
I was helping with a lot of the labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like.
Wait, what? Did you not like have money to pay for doctors and nurses?
Well, it was no, it was at a hospital, but they had 22 births that day, which like apparently
So you were
is a
like
lot.
an afterthought.
Yeah, I mean, we were later in the day, and basically Emily had sort of joked like, "Oh yeah, you're not going to be involved in this," like you know, like.
Well, I think a lot of women would agree that they don't want to expose that trauma to someone.
Yeah, and you know, I was fine with that. I mean, whatever. And then once we decide, like, all right, now's the time to start, you know, delivering this baby. It was just one nurse who came in and said, "All right, Phil, like, are you able to like hold a leg?" And I'm like, "Whoa, what?"
They didn't even have hold a leg. They didn't have like
Stirrups?
Yeah.
It was just you and one
Do you
nurse?
have health insurance?
We got like,
Was this a
Geico?
hospital or like a building that said hospital on it?
No, it was like in Grand Theft Auto when you just pop out after you like die, and it just like it just says hospital with a big H and a little snake with
A doctor came in though eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I think look, they, as people say, it was at Virginia Hospital, great experience, but they call
VHC?
them, yeah, they call it like a baby factory there, and so I guess they know how to like streamline it with I guess their staff too. But like I said, they were pretty over like saturated with babies and stuff. So I was holding a leg, and I think they did have that stuff there, but like during the pushing, like they wanted me to do certain like push the leg, and then the lady was like, "Can you count to 10?"
Like, can I? I can count to 10. Oh, you better believe I can count to 10.
But
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You want me to do it again?
Right. And that I was freaked because I was just like, I can't pace this. I don't know like what the cadence
Probably
is.
seconds. It's probably 1 Mississippi, 2. Like it probably each thing
Right.
was a second.
I mean, a second.
But imagine if she's trying to correct my counting and like this obviously was a
okay,
small
1
moment.
and 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah, Phil, get it right. Come on. It's like it's a small moment where I'm just like, I don't think I came up small because I'm just like I can't. I said, why don't you do it? I said, you count.
What you do?
Yeah.
I'm paying you nothing here.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it took a little while, and there's like little minor complications and stuff, but it got to the point where like there was like downtime between like pushing, and so we were just having like a regular conversation between me and the nurse while Emily's just like sitting there and stuff.
About what?
Through it, yeah.
talking about comedy and stuff like that.
No way.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Son of a
Emily
bitch.
must have been
You're
like,
doing bits at
"Fucking
her?"
Phil.
Emily, I think, might have brought it up. I don't think I was the one bringing it up.
Phil, tell her what you do.
Yeah, but the nurse, really great. She was actually really cool, very kind of like in tune with Emily on just like a personal level, just like similar interests or whatever. But she's like, oh, I got to see a show. And then she said the most annoying thing in the world. She goes, I love to laugh. And I'm like, oh my God, who fucking doesn't? Like, how does that, like, that's the worst thing you could tell me right now. But
Well, laughing is the sign that you liked something. So it's silly to be like, I love to just laugh. I'll laugh at anything.
Yeah.
Even if it's not funny, I just love laughing.
yeah, it confused me because I'm like then like having mixed thoughts about the person here, but like
Do I want you to be a part of this?
I will say once the moment came, there was like a medical team that like showed up in like 5-6 people, and then like these floodlights basically come on and like the show is on. I don't know if that happened for you.
How did you respond when she said, I love to laugh? Were you like, you do?
I think
What?
Emily knew that bothered me, and she probably like smoothed it over.
While giving birth, she's like, oh, I got to worry about my vulnerable husband's weak emotional needs.
Yeah.
How do you relate the nerves of, this is stupid, but I'm curious. How do you relate the nerves of like being there in the moment of your child being born? Like not the happy part after the child's birth where you're like, oh my God, I'm in the happiest I've ever been. But like, how do you relate the nerves to stand up?
It's a bit of like a trauma kind of thing. I mean, with stand up, it's kind of you do it or don't, sink or swim. And there is, I guess, the
Like
slightest
a doggy
bit of that.
paddle in comedy.
Yeah, that's true. That's basically what like half of every. That's just,
Yeah, that's
You
a
can do that in
majority.
fatherhood as well, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what my dad did.
Yeah, that's like an average dad. But no, I had like a bit of like existential, like, oh my God, like this is actually happening. Like there's this element, I don't know if it's like, I thought like, oh, you're just pregnant for 9 months and then it just goes away. Like you don't kind of.
Then it gets worse.
Well, it's a 9-month build up to this moment too, which is probably crazy.
Yeah, because a couple weeks prior, it was like we thought we might have to induce to like get the baby out. And when they said, yeah, okay, if you come out of this doctor's appointment and, we see your charts, we'll just induce you on Wednesday. And Emily and I were both like, what the fuck?
Right, like now you have a
Wednesday
date.
is the day your life changes.
Yeah, it's like, no one ever told me that would happen. Like,
Yeah.
we're having a baby now?
Kind of like knowing when you die.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, well, it's such a gigantic moment. Even in those weeks leading up, you're like still like 2 people,
Right.
like I can do anything with my hands. Like that's a big difference.
Now you can't do anything with your hands.
It's kind of hard, but yeah. Anyway, but it was there for me. I had these like physical responses, like biological responses that I could tell were like happening as I was gearing for the moment.
What was when you first saw Frankie? What were you like, was it love?
I think I said holy shit. I think I said holy shit or oh my God, just to see this like
And Emily's like, oh, I gotta help my
Yeah.
weak husband's emotional needs again.
yeah, she had to hold my hand and like make sure I was okay and
Breathe, Phil.
yeah, it's like, Emily, you're great. You look so good right now. In terms of like instant love and stuff like that, I mean, I had a moment of like grandeur or whatever. It felt like it was a grand moment, like a moment that's sort of like existential, that type of stuff.
Hell yeah. Wait, hold on. Quick word from our fake sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Did we're talking about how you felt the moment you laid eyes.
Yeah, I mean, no, I was like kind of a little like disgusted because of the look of a newborn. And I also was like, oh man, she doesn't look anything like me. She looks only like my wife and her family. And I was like, that's not cool.
How do you know at that age, though? I mean, she has your hair, or when she's born, I imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had the same level of hair, and I was like, nice solidarity. But she just, the eyes were very Nova. That's like my wife's maiden name. Actually, still current name.
Also, that might be one of those things I bleep out. Your wife's maiden name.
Oh, yeah.
What's her social security number?
Give us
I don't
6
know.
of the digits.
I like kind of know. If I heard my baby's social security number, I'm like, I know it, but
You don't have it there ready to go yet.
I sort of understand where you're kind of hoping that the baby looks like something that you recognize, because I do take pride in the fact that he has elements that look like me, and I think that's actually
He's
kind
an
of important.
Indian American.
He is. He's a proud Southern Continental. But yeah, no, I get that, and I think I've heard like different things about like why babies don't look like the guy or do look like
no,
the guy.
they're supposed to look like the guy, so the guy knows and doesn't want to kill the baby and be like, I need my baby here, not.
Well, let me ask you this: How sure are you your babies are yours?
57%, 58%.
There's like
no
angles where I'm like, oh, that's my baby. I don't know. I had a joke that I didn't think the baby was mine at all, that it was like immaculate conception. And like it was like a baby Jesus situation.
I think
Because we're Jews.
I do think like the baby's face changes very quickly over time, and at least in my experience, the baby's face has resembled other people in both of our families. Like it just changes. Like one day it'll look like my brother, another day he'll look like Emily's niece. You know, just like these little shifts because they're like mixing the DNA and all that stuff.
Dude, my niece looks like my daughter, straight up.
What's up? What's your daughter look like?
Well, she's 14.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a baby very young.
Hell yeah.
So young that I can't even do the math for it.
Right, and in months.
But you could have had a baby at that age. Like that, it could be your baby, genetic, biologically.
Yeah, that would have made me
speaking.
what? 16?
Yeah.
Or 14? Or
I don't know how old you are.
29.
I don't know where to start.
I'm 29 and I'm really bad
Do you
at
not
math.
know his jokes, his stand-up? He like says that.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually, my opener changed when my birthday happened, and that's a problem. I think.
It's
What, are you
It's a sign
30
you need
now?
a new opener. No, I started when I was 28, and I would say the same joke.
You
with
could
28.
lie. That doesn't matter.
lying's
Nothing.
fine. I keep
Yeah.
saying I recently got married. It's been 4 years.
Where was your wedding?
It was a destination wedding.
Oh wow, cool. Was it somewhere exotic?
Yeah, Arlington. You're gonna hear that tonight at Hotbed, folks.
Well, this doesn't drop today, so.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, whatever. No, but I do think that the baby, it shuffles through like different relatives and stuff, and I do think there's sort of like a bias towards one side. But like, do you ever see those families where it's like the dad has like a huge jawline, and then like all the kids look like insane, whether they're like boys or girls, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, there's some attributes that don't really like work for both genders or any gender. Or genderless.
It's just like so weird. Like it's like there was like a billion possibilities for what these kids could look like, and they just have his jaw. It's
They're all Hasselhoff in the jaw and
yeah,
regular kid everywhere else.
yes. I don't know, but I did think it was like important. It made me feel good that like, oh, I can recognize this baby a little bit.
All right, well, we're going to switch directions a little bit. I want to give you guys some like kind of hot button quiz type questions, and I want you to just kind of answer from the heart as a new dad. Okay? So your kid comes home from school and says they've joined jazz band as a percussionist. What do you do?
Be like, you're white, Zoe. You have no fucking rhythm here. If you got it from me, anything from me, you can't do this.
I'm sure
now.
your Jewish wife is extremely rhythmic as well, right?
She actually like sang in gospel. She's actually pretty good musically. I am not. Although I don't know. Although it's probably confusing because of that intro we were doing with the singing. You're like,
I was
he's
impressed.
really
You guys
good.
harmonized pretty well, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Well, you were making noise at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we did good.
Phil?
I'd say I'd be confused because if I didn't know before, I'd be like, oh my God, that's great. What you know, why? And let's go for it.
Wow.
Because it's my passion, Dad. And then they come home with 14 cymbals.
I'd be like, okay, we need to consolidate and figure out what we can do with all this stuff.
There's xylophones blocking every entrance to your home. And he's practicing relentlessly.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably fine.
Yeah?
What?
Yeah, I mean, what do I care?
Because it's gonna be annoying and loud, and is a 14-year-old not gonna be good. It's extremely loud.
I mean,
I think you got to shut that dream down. I do. I really do believe that.
I mean, they got energy for something. Like, this is a different topic, but sort of similar. Like, you guys watch the Bama Rush documentary?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
It's a documentary about all these girls who are like super passionate about getting into Greek life at Alabama. And you think it's going to be like, oh my God, these girls are like the worst girls in the world. Dude, they were like so articulate and motivated. I was like, yeah, there's like terrible things that sororities and fraternities do. But I was like, that's pretty fucking good for a college kid to want anything.
I mean, they got into Bama.
Yeah. And for like a sorority, I don't know. But no, if he had a passion, I mean, obviously there's like massaging, and I have a music background. So like I would be like, hey, here's like a really cool way to set this up.
You ever seen like a flutist
Dude, that's the second time I heard that word today.
Wait, I'm gonna guess the instrument.
or a recorder?
Were you in band?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was in jazz
instrument.
band.
You were in jazz band? Okay. You played the bass.
No, trumpet.
Oh, okay. That's actually I was expecting
Close
the
to the
bass. I
flute.
just figured you would have like tried guitar, and it was just like, this is too
Oh,
challenging.
It's funny because I play piano too, but I cannot do a chord. I cannot do guitar. I might feel like my fingers like will snap off.
We also play it backwards though,
Yeah, right. But
which
my
also
fingers.
seems challenging for it.
Yeah, so like I have no natural. I don't even know what a natural position on a guitar is because I'm.
If you're a jazz band instructor for like middle school and you have a guitarist who's like amazing, but he's like, but I need like a left-handed guitar. You're just like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, the weird thing is like the schools provide a lot of the instruments.
Not
and like
a left-handed guitar.
no,
Not my
they
school.
can't. Well, all they have to do is just restring it. But I guess like no one's able to do that shit.
Oh, that's a good point. No, I can do that.
Okay, well, hey, look at that.
All right, we can make it happen then.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
if he wants to do it,
Frankie's in jazz band.
Yeah, I mean, because I could like provide. Maybe if he was like, oh yeah, I want to like, I don't know, shoot guns in the house, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably not a good thing. But no, for that, I would let him go as far as he can. And obviously, like my wife would probably be the one to be like, you're too loud, and I would support that.
What do you mean, obviously?
Ugh, strike two on this one.
My wife's the problem.
I think my wife prefers a little bit more of like an orderly house.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we were just like constantly hearing, like if he was just fucking around the whole time, I'd be like, okay, like maybe you can have a little bit more like organization with how you practice. But for the most part, I want to see sort of like, it's a safe hobby. So it's like, okay, cool.
How do you practice like percussion? Do you like when you just do the cymbals like every 20 seconds?
I think to a metronome.
Yeah.
That's it?
Just to a metronome, yeah. Just
Probably.
That's like the lowest thing you could do in band, right?
I think it's the least talented
Yes,
person
I mean-
does
Yeah,
symbols or whatever.
triangle.
Triangle. The
Hey,
crash.
Daddy, I'm here.
Like this whole thing. I mean, there are people who are good at it. You can bring it to the top, but you're still just like.
Yeah, I think if it's like, oh, I'm the trianglist, and I'd maybe on that one be like, okay, we need something that needs a little bit more skill, you know?
I mean, it's not going to get you anywhere socially. You know, being the trianglist. Well, also being in jazz band doesn't really help with that either.
I went to an all guys school, so I don't know.
You did?
Yeah, it was
wow, that's
fine.
weird.
I mean, like that, but like social was a little different.
But being in any group, you have the friends of the group. So maybe it does help you socially.
That's true. My only friends are comedians now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I
what's
couldn't
the
get
second-
any of them on.
Yeah. What's the second one? So you squashed her dreams. I nurtured. Okay. What's
Okay.
the next one?
You find out your baby has superpowers. I'm talking maybe 1 year old.
No, I start being nice to my baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sorry about that.
Do you exploit? Do you start training?
Oh, training for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I would do it the way Kevin Costner did it in Superman, where they have to learn how to hide it but use it responsibly.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Use him to do all of the work on the farm.
Yeah, is
For
that what
18
happened?
years. Yeah. He
Oh.
it just made him a farmhand for his whole life, like the most useful farmhand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that one's kind of wrong. But
What was that wrong? What's the kid gonna do?
I mean, did Superman ever become anything?
Yeah. What did he do with his life?
What did
A
he do?
reporter, I think.
Yeah, he a reporter, and I don't know. It seems kind of underachieving for him.
A middling reporter. Well, I guess he was trying to like hold back being too good of a reporter, so he doesn't like
Right. I mean,
that's what I'm doing in comedy.
If the superpower is something that could get him hurt in terms of like the public's attention, I'd be like, it would be like LeBron James's kid. It'd be like, hey, we got to figure out like, hey, you're famous, like, but we got to figure out like how to keep you like from not.
Because your baby's immortal, do you just leave it at home sometimes?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right? Definitely. All of a sudden, it's like, well, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, you don't need a babysitter.
Yeah, what happens if you don't feed the baby though? Does he just like stays gaunt forever? Like, does he continue?
I don't know. I mean, I've never seen Superman eat a meal. Now that I think about it, but he was an alien too. I feel like you would know. If your baby
saw
was an
him drink
alien.
milk in one of the things.
Really?
He drank a whole gallon of milk.
Human milk.
Yeah. Oh no.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know. Why I assumed that.
You could only drink
I drink you humans.
That was a genuine moment.
He's like trying to fit in, and he drinks human milk at the office. Like, what the
Well, it just
fuck?
seems like, we're not supposed to drink cow's milk, and he's not even from this fucking planet. I don't know what kind of milk. Like, switch to oat if you're,
And he miraculously he's he looks like a human, attracted to like other humans. It's like a weird synergy.
Yeah, it sounds like it was just made up by some guy.
What if the only thing human
sorry.
about him was his like everything about him was human except for his cock? He had an alien cock.
Yeah,
Like it had like eyes on it.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think there's porn with alien cocks. Not that I don't know. I think I said.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
So-
send me that link.
click the link right there. Yeah.
Okay, your baby. Well, we're gonna say it's a child now. All of a sudden, just starts having like really right wing views, out of nowhere. What do you do? How do you handle it?
Say, wow, how do you agree with me and mom? So,
The perfect child.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like having a strong political views as a kid is just more of like a phase kind of thing. It's
But
like,
I'm talking like your kid comes home and she's like, Dad, I think can I have like a glass of juice? And you're like, yeah. And then she's like, I think we should build a wall as well.
I just think of it as
Getting the genders of your babies.
it's just hard to take a kid's idea that seriously. I'd be like, it'd be like, I mean, I guess it's just like talking
What about
politics.
jazz band?
Yeah. It'd just be like talking politics with anyone who has a strong political belief. You're like, okay, well, that's stupid. It's just like, if they said we really want, if they were starting to say things that were like truly like a big problem, I'd be like, hey, we need to figure out why you hate Mexicans so much, like what's happening? Like we told you to keep that secret,
Stays in the house.
Yeah, so I'd be very curious as to why they think it.
But you keep the child as your own?
No.
I think this would be, you would have to be like 18 plus or maybe 16 plus for someone to actually start having like beliefs. Unless it's like a boy. I don't know. As a girl, I feel like she won't have like right-wing beliefs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so long as they have like an element of like self-reflection. Like I remember in 8th grade or 7th grade, like my dad would listen to like WAMU or whatever, like Rush Limbaugh and stuff like that. It was just like the commute thing. And I don't know if he was like as inflammatory back then, but I remember I like rented the book, like a Rush Limbaugh book in like 8th grade. And I like said I was reading it as part of just like, you had to like read a book. And my teacher was like, be careful with that. And I had no idea what she was fucking talking about. Like I just like read it because I was like, this.
She was like, be careful. You could disagree with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's not very fair.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a book. I didn't really know, like, I mean, he said something like, there was shit about like global warming that like probably is like as inaccurate as anything and all that type of shit. But I think you just have to be self-aware, like, oh yeah, that was just, I wouldn't even call it a phase. I just fucking read that book.
Yeah. Alex, your daughter comes home and she's like, the earth is flat. And I truly believe that. And then you're like, no, it's round. And she's like my dad's an idiot. And,
Yeah. It's hard for me to answer that hypothetical. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know how to like. I don't have like she's a baby now, so I don't really know how to like have a logical conversation with a person.
There's a chance that maybe it's a stupid question that I was hoping would lead somewhere funny.
Well,
there's
good
a
point.
chance.
Yeah.
I will make it this
Your question
better.
is stupid.
I'll make this better. If somebody gave me a 5-year-old today, I'd freak out. Like that's how I feel about like, oh, you're a parent, so therefore like all of this stuff feels like whatever. It's like it feels good to have like a 3-month-old because I have a 3-month-old. But if he was like up and running around, that would be.
Would you rather have 3 3-month-olds or 1 5-month-old or a 20-year-old?
Or a 1 9-month-old? Would it be 3 3-month-old or 1 9-month-old?
No, 1 5-year-old. No, I'm not talking adding up all the ages.
Oh.
Would you rather have 3 3-month-olds or 1 5-year-old right now? Which one? Pick
I
one.
would feel really bad missing out on 4.5 years of whatever this 5-year-old is doing, but like from an effort level, the 5-year-old would be
Right, because you got 3 kids, you're missing out on shit anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And then how often are you going to really be going to do stand-up if you have 3 kids at home?
There was actually a rumor that I did stand-up the day the baby was born.
Yeah, I think I definitely like helped perpetuate that. We all did. It was funny.
Yeah, whoever did that, thanks. I've been getting booked, and like people trust me to like show up to shows
Like,
with
this
a baby.
guy really wants it.
Yeah, I felt like a Super Bowl player.
It was pretty funny because it did seem like really, really short after. Like, how long was it? Like 3 days?
Dude, I mean, Emily was really great, and also probably she was just like riding adrenaline for so long.
Yeah.
Like the day before the baby was due, I was like, I know the baby's coming tomorrow. Like it was just very clear. And then he was born on a Wednesday night, and then on Monday it was Alani's mic, which is literally like a 6-minute drive from me, and it was 7:00. I could just show up to it, and Emily said, honestly, like if you want to just go to it, go for it. Like I had been home for like 5 straight days,
Right.
and just the idea of getting out, like I was gone for maybe like 45, 50 minutes. And I learned later that the reason you don't really do that is because the baby doesn't have an immune system for at least 28 days. And
That's when you learned that?
What?
yeah, I mean, I knew.
I knew that.
I mean, I
didn't know that.
well, it's more of like I didn't think about the germs because I would be like quickly interacting, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm not like, you know, huffing and puffing on people or whatever, but like. Well,
Grab
like,
that microphone, though.
yeah, I mean, no, that's true. And it made me a little bit more careful. But yeah, I would just try to be quickly in and out. But yeah, it was 5 days.
That is pretty quick, but you're right. It's impressive. And I'm glad that everybody lied.
Yeah, I kind of wish I took a little bit more time away just to like,
Imprint.
but you know, those first few weeks were just kind of nuts anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
Nice.
yeah, okay, yeah.
I know how I'll contribute. Yeah.
Expert podcast.
In my mind, I was like, well, what do you even mean? And you're like, well, it was crazy anyway, so I had to get out of there. It's like, seems like a reason to not get out of there.
No, I mean, it's no.
I don't want this responsibility at all.
I mean, to me, it was the equivalent of like walking around the block, like getting some fresh air, like doing something you're familiar with, you know, feeling a little grounded just because like, you know, relatives would be in and out. Like you're kind of, you're
coming up for air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just
I
getting.
can understand that.
Exactly.
Do you have any best dad, like paraphernalia? Best dad ever?
Somebody gave me a best dad ever cup.
You drink out of it?
I don't know where it is. It was Joey Kuhn gave me it. I used it. I don't know where it is right now. It's definitely in the house though.
It's probably in the fridge, so you don't have to wash it.
That's right.
as
Which
much.
I'm doing with all of my dishes.
I do that with my dirty plates. Yeah.
Okay, you have to leave your baby with one of the following celebrities in an emergency. You got to run to do something very important. You have to leave your baby with one of these celebrities. Anderson Cooper or Gary Busey.
Oh, Anderson Cooper. Ooh, Anderson Cooper's gay though.
Yep, that's where I was going to. Damn. All right, Busey. No.
Yeah, the non-psycho. Anderson Cooper.
Those are pretty contrasting celebrities.
But you know, some of the craziest guys are like actually like very like you know like safe. But I have no idea what his personal life is like, and his son also looks.
It's
crazy.
chaotic. I will say he was on season 1 and 3 of Celebrity Rehab.
Oh, well, there we
Busey?
go.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's like a bit of a like that's not a show you go on more than once on. You know, that's not a great
Yeah,
sign.
that's not. Yeah.
Yeah, give
It's
me
one of the funniest credits that there is, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I would go Anderson Cooper there.
Okay. Even with the white hair and
Short hair.
Is his boyfriend?
you remember
over
your
there?
baby's right wing
Yeah, that's true. He's a white ring xylophonist, though.
percussionist.
Percussionist.
Well, xylophone counts, right?
Yeah, you said xylophone.
You bang it.
Yeah. I think I would go Anderson Cooper for clearly very obvious reasons.
Okay. Would you let me babysit your baby?
For free?
No.
I have to pay you?
No.
Wait, I have to pay you or don't have to pay you?
What do you accept?
I changed my mind between those two questions because I feel like I don't really need payment per se. Maybe like even something as simple as like just the act of you trusting me with your baby is enough.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
At this age, no, because it would be like the baby would accidentally starve. Like the baby would be like starving.
No,
the whole
that's
time.
the only thing I can do is keep a baby from dying.
Yeah.
Like I'm really good at that. We were going to talk about it, and we're kind of short on time. I've delivered 2 babies.
Hell yeah.
No, 3 babies. I delivered 3 babies.
One died, but whatever.
Yeah.
He got out. But those you were a what's it called, an EMT?
Nice.
I was a paramedic. I was in paramedic school, and we had to
Whoa,
deliver
in
babies.
school?
Yeah.
Was that
wow.
like part of the teaching? They're like, hey, we got a baby coming.
Yeah, because there's a chance that I could have delivered a baby in the field, and they're like, you don't want that to be the first time you see a baby.
So then
be
how
born
did you deliver this baby? What was
in the
this?
hospital? So imagine you're there with
man.
your wife in the hospital, and you're about to give birth, and then right before it's like going down, like she's already in labor.
They're like,
the
wait,
doctor
wait.
comes in, and they're like, hey, we have a paramedic student.
He's
here.
a horny 22-year-old boy.
He has
Hold it.
knuckle
Don't push.
tattoos.
Don't push.
Like, is it okay if he comes in and literally delivers your baby? Like
What?
I was
You
the
were
first.
like-
I was the
you were
first
the
human
quarterback?
hands on 2 people in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a quarterback in a way.
yeah, and the vagina is the center,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's not shotgun. It's, you're under center.
right?
And the mom is the field? What is the
Do
mom?
you don't hold it like, you don't do this, do you?
It's kind of like a
Yeah, like this?
Yeah, they're slippery, so you gotta like grab the head comes out,
Do you have gloves on?
and then yeah, I had gloves on.
Okay.
No, I'm not a pussy. Of course, I didn't have gloves on, dude.
Wait, you did or didn't?
No, I
You
did.
just spit
Oh.
on your hands.
Yeah. All right,
That
let's
is
get
wild.
this baby out.
Dude,
Yeah, it's pretty
and
weird.
obviously
I was like 22.
I was in a similar situation having to deal with like medical students, and the fact that they're like educating themselves off of your body is like just kind of wild. Did the mom have any like, was she just like, fucking whatever, everyone's gonna be in here anyway?
Almost all of my peers had a similar experience where the moms were like it's the last thing I'm worried about.
Right.
So they just didn't give a fuck. And we were in scrubs. We looked like we belonged.
You guys are in disguise.
Yeah. But one lady was like, who? And does that, and then the guy's like, hey, Jack, you can come in here. And I like walk into the room a little bit, and she was like, fuck no. She was like really adamant about it.
I agree. That's a crazy thing to spring on someone in that moment.
It was weird.
Yeah, when I had that experience, it was when my dad was dying, and he had a major stroke, and the doctor came in who had like a very like Romanian accent, and he had this like gaggle of students around him, and they're just like fucking with my dad or whatever, being like, he looks blind in that eye, and he appears to have Parkinson's. I'm like, I didn't know he had Parkinson's, whatever. And they just like it was like the coldest shit I've ever seen in my life. So I could imagine anyone just being like, this. I mean, either being like, what else could happen, and being fine with it, or just fuck no is like an also appropriate answer.
Phil, your family has the worst health insurance.
Yeah.
What?
That's right.
This was VHC, dude?
That was at VHC, but it's a learning moment.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. They're fine, actually. They're
Yeah.
fine. I did a number of. I used to bring people there all the time.
Well, it's funny that my dad passed there and my baby was born there.
Circle of life.
And he was born 3 days before my dad's birthday.
Oh, that's quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
Nice sentiment.
Yeah.
There's something weird about medicine and practical training, especially like in an emergency setting at all, like with babies or regular emergencies, where it's like, it really is like the worst possible day that person's having, or just the craziest experience of their life. And then you're just like, oh, this is like my 4th day here, and like I have to take lunch in 45 minutes, and it's like this weird like,
Oh yeah.
pretending to, I don't know.
Yeah, they have to like be distant from you, but like good enough to handle. Like having like people skills as a healthcare practitioner is pretty important. And it's like a pretty callous thing when like a door opens, your legs are spread, and just like other people come in, make small talk.
Why were your legs spread?
I was just hungry. That's how I eat. I just shove food up my ass. But there was actually like in the hospital, there was like the way the building was, there was like windows that could like overlook into the room we were in.
Oh, right.
So other people could look in if they were there. And my wife definitely noticed that. She was just like, anyone could
stadium seating.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's for the high. What do you call it?
For the highway boys. I don't know.
In the back.
Yeah, the nosebleed section.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. What time is it? It's 7:20 right now.
Perfect.
This feels unfinished, but we can wrap this up.
What are y'all doing for dinner?
Well, you have Wonderland first, right?
Yeah.
But that means you got to get there by 8:10. How far are we from Wonderland?
Driving?
Scooting.
Metroing.
No, how are you getting there?
I could drive you.
Wait, this is on the podcast.
Oh yeah, is this not what people want to hear?
I don't think people care.
Okay.
Well, what
you guys
do
want to know how comedy works?
No, it's like I'm gonna say it's like 3 minutes to Hotbed. That means to wherever we're going.
Okay, cool. All
Wonderland.
right, that's fine. We can,
It's very
let's keep
close.
going.
I'm sorry. I should have just answered instead of
Yeah.
Yeah, what you were like talking about how this.
transportation.
Yeah, what is going on?
Dude,
Okay.
I am. Oh yeah. So first of all, what age do you recommend I have a kid? I just want like you're the. I don't know that many dads. My brother's a dad. My dad's a dad.
Nice.
That's
one of the good things about your dad.
It's the best thing. It's the only thing I like about him. I'm just kidding. Sorry, Dad. Just kidding. He doesn't listen. Doesn't support
Which is
me
not
at
a
all.
good thing about him. That's like he doesn't care too much about you. Do you
Yeah.
think he doesn't listen? Does he? I guess he's probably not on social media. Or
He's not on social media in general, so no, that's not even the reason though. It's more like he doesn't. He's not like an artistic or creative person, and he doesn't think things are funny. He's not like a funny guy.
When you told him you wanted to do stand up, here's a question for your dad.
I didn't. I was
through
doing
you.
it for a year before I even mentioned it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
was
I didn't really
so-
care about his response though.
What does he do for a living?
He's in government contracting.
Yeah, so he's like
Yeah.
just dead on the inside.
Yeah. Well, he was in the military most of my life, and with the war on terror and whatnot, he was like overseas for like a long time.
What branch?
He was a Marine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is he a very serious guy?
Very hard. Yeah, he's a hard ass dude.
Does he like guns?
No. He's actually extremely liberal. He's also extremely Jewish. So
Who would
there's
win in a
that.
fight? You or him?
Me.
Nice.
I would beat his ass now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah, I
like?
would.
How tall is he?
He's shorter than me. He's like
Shorter
maybe
than
5'9", but he was a really big guy when he was younger, and now he's not young, and he's all like slow and like everything's broken and weird. And I would just kick him in the chest really hard, and I feel like.
But he
wouldn't
probably
be able
knows how to
handle it.
fight more than you.
No, not at all. Not
Really?
remotely.
Do you know how to fight, or does he not?
I do know how to fight, but it sounds weird to admit that, and it makes me feel like a douchebag.
Yeah.
But also, hold on one second. Quick word from our sponsors. Trying to decide if I want to shift gears. This is the part that I can edit out. if I need to.
You had said what age to have a kid or something like that?
Yeah, he did say
Yeah,
that.
is there a perfect age? I mean, you guys, I feel like don't even really have all the experience yet.
I
'cause
think
you
the
just had
earlier the
kids.
better. Although now I'm like more financially stable, I guess. I mean, you live in like not a college apartment, but
Squalor.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a bit of a comic house, you could say.
Yeah,
Just
a group house. A group house, I think, is the official.
well, it's not. I mean,
Government term.
we knew each other already, and we moved in together on purpose.
yeah.
You know?
You have roommates, I guess. Well, I guess one of them's not like a
Well, Mitchell and I
Roommate.
share a room. We have bunk beds.
nice.
Yeah.
I think there's like two perspectives. If you have a kid younger, you probably have more energy and stuff like that. And I think there's like definitely pros. I definitely think having kids in your 30s is great for a couple reasons. One, you're probably more financially stable, which I think is a big thing. The second thing is, sorry, it did sound boring. Like when I
No, I loved doing that. I wasn't saying
Honestly,
that
I
you
was
were
just
boring.
thinking like I've become progressively less financially stable as I get older.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Why?
you
I had
went
a career.
Yeah, you went from an EMT to a comic.
Well, to a barista in reality. You know, I'm a 29-year-old barista and I do comedy. So
Yeah.
I mean, I make money in comedy, part-time, professional. Oh, do I count as a professional yet?
I wonder what.
No, I think it has to be your only job. That's my opinion of it.
I don't know if that's true.
I've battled with that too. It's like I've heard like if you make money, then therefore it's some type of profession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worth paying to see, just not that much.
I don't know. Would you guys say Uber drivers are professional drivers?
That's
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You better fucking hope they are.
They're the worst at their profession.
They weren't trained at all.
Yeah, and like honestly, a regular driver is probably better than an Uber driver.
There's no like open mic equivalent for an Uber driver. They just start.
I mean, like, what happens if like you have a day job, but then you like open for like a big guy at so and so? Like
you make like $350 or something.
Yeah, you're like
oh.
perceived as a professional, and I think you're professional.
I think if you're getting paid, you're a professional. Getting paid regularly.
Now it's like you can't go around being like, "Oh, I'm a professional." I mean, then you sound like. I mean, who cares about what even that means? But
right.
But yeah, I do think there's an element of like both of that. But yeah. But I will say, just going back, in your 30s, you're more financially stable. Hopefully, you have also more maturity. Where like I always try to say, like the best advice I think is like if you're with your partner with the kid, like you're only as strong as like the support you give each other. And so therefore, like if you're in your 20s and somebody says something, you're like, well, fuck that. It's like that's not helping anybody. If it's 3 a.m., you just need to do the thing and get it over with,
Got to be a team.
Yeah.
And I think a team together before you bring a baby into the world.
I think it helps.
Yeah. That makes the most sense to me. I feel like I know women's timelines come into play in a different way than men. And that's something to think about, I suppose. Like Matilda's like, I don't want to have a kid for like another 20 years. So we're going to just try our best at 55.
How old is she?
27.
Should anyone tell her? I mean, what? Like, hey.
I'm not going to tell her. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
my baby will just be born weird. It's fine.
I do think like I mean, I know there is points where like I think Emily didn't want to have kids.
Back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't pressuring her to have kids. I mean, when we were in our 20s and then even when we got married, like we knew it would happen, but like we were under no pressure to do it because I still feel like we were enjoying like our individual lives.
Is there anything that's happened in your life before having a kid that's like stepped you up more than that? Do you know what I mean? Or not more maybe, but like is there anything even close to in a life event?
For me, no.
My dad dying was pretty significant.
I feel like that's, but I kind of agree that those are like your parents passing and having a kid are like the big, and then your own death.
Yeah,
birth, I guess.
I think it's just like the magnitude. You start to realize that like none of it matters until it gets to the brass tacks, and that's like life or death, sort of. I mean, obviously things matter in between and all that type of stuff, but like you're dealing with like supporting life, and therefore like I would consider that like somewhat close.
How long did it take for you to like meet the level of like connection that your wives have with your kids? Because I know that it like with my brother, he said it took like a couple weeks to really almost get the hype.
Yeah, I faked it for a while.
I think everybody does,
time,
right?
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
I'm like liking. Honestly, I'm still liking her more and more. Like she's now like almost talking.
She's like doing things that you taught her and stuff.
Yeah, and like she now fakes stuff like jokingly. She gets jokes. I say like I'm just like teasing. Like I'll like give her a hand or something, and then she'll grab it and I'll move it. She keeps grabbing. And she's like, "Haha, that's actually funny." She's like, "That's good."
I do wonder if you guys will have funny ass children. Like, is that like inevitable? I don't really know how that works.
No, I think it's a choice. I mean, I think it's a choice you make. Like, I want to be funny. I remember thinking that, like, I want to be funny, and then I just started thinking, like, try to be funny. I think that's with everyone that has that control.
Yeah, I think they probably like get it from their both ends, like nature and nurture, and then I mean, you have to be a little bit of a weirdo to want to be funny and stuff like that and be funny. So
as we talk about this, I'm realizing my parents aren't funny. Neither of them are funny.
But if you have like maybe like something kind of like suppressed in there that you feel like you need to like get out, like you have a creative streak, so therefore like you can view the world differently and all that.
I think so. My mom's very eccentric. I think that added humor. I think about things my mom used to do, and I think about how funny they are to me now.
Yeah, and the fact that she's married to like a 60-year-old Marine with like, it's like that's kind of like
well, she's probably 60ish too, though.
They're the same age, just about.
Yeah, she's not.
And they got divorced when I was in like the first grade.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well, I backpedal on that, but she liked him at first.
Yeah. And they had 3 kids. Yeah.
They had 3 kids.
4, actually.
Were you one of them?
I was one of them. 4, they lost a baby before I was born.
Ah.
Yeah. Or like a kid. Well, it was a baby.
That was the first one?
Second. Second. I'm the youngest.
Me too.
Youngest? Yeah. We're the alibi artists.
You're the youngest?
Yeah.
Aren't they all, like, I'm now bigger than my 2 older brothers. Like, I could beat them up now, and I should exact revenge for little Alex. But it's too awkward at this age to be beating up a 40-year-old.
When you're the youngest and you're bullied around or whatever, I think what happens is you start gaining like the sympathy that they don't understand for people who get bullied. And then you don't want to do it back to them when you can.
Yeah.
I will say I can't do shit to my brother. He's like a trained killer. Took the military route as well to like the highest limits. And I can't do shit about anything if I wanted to. Yeah.
I mean, getting in a fight now, though, like, you got to be really risking a lot. Like, you get hurt. You're going to get hurt. Like, there's no way.
Dude, I was reaching for a phone charger not that long ago. Like, I was, like, really reaching, and my shoulder, like, fell out of place.
Yeah.
I'm not even 30. Yeah. I was like, ah.
That's just you're not old. You just have bad genetics.
I do. None of my limbs work.
Yeah, like,
I've had a couple surgeries on my elbow.
I don't get hurt. I'm jinxing myself right now, but I don't get hurt at all.
I'm gonna hurt you the moment we wrap, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, you punch somebody, you're gonna be like, oh, fuck. Like, your hand hurts, and I don't know. Also, like, how would you hurt someone? Like, you either do, like, one of those, like, lame fights on, like, a golf course where you're just, like, hugging each other a lot and you're both
wrestling.
Winded, or, like, someone fucking gets hurt and, like, there's not much, like, then you gotta come home and you look like shit. Like, you got blood. It's like, it gotta be really worth it. But
have you ever been in a fight?
No.
Same.
I've kept a clean record. I've started a few fights.
But you weren't a part of them?
Yeah, I did not join in the fight.
How did you just like turn 2 people against each other?
Very famously, I basically started 2 fights in one night and sent 2 guys to jail.
What?
They were my friends too.
What did you do? Was it like a parent trap? Like hey, this guy says fuck you, and like, oh, hey, this guy says fuck you, and then they're both like, hey.
I just like started mouthing off to like a stranger, and then they
protected you. You suck.
Sort of. I mean, I didn't know it would escalate. Like, one of them, I was telling a guy, I was in college, he had an open container, and I said, dude, you should put that away. There was a cop coming. I was like, you should put that away. And then my friend who had 4 Locos that night got intense. He's like, you should put that fucking shit away. And the guy's like, fuck you, dude. And then the cop pulled up and they both went to jail. And then
you should have went to jail just for having a 4 Loco. 4 Locos, that's 16 Locos.
Yeah, dude. He was a big dude. Yeah, he was a big dude. And this was before it was like criminalized or whatever. Right. And then later that night, I'm like, shoot, Doug got arrested. And so I meet up with my buddy. And
need something else to do tonight now.
Yeah, and so then I meet up at like this house party. It gets broken up by the cops, so we all flood into the neighboring apartment. And there was a girl, it was midnight, wearing sunglasses inside. And I go, hey, what are you wearing sunglasses for? And she's like, fuck you. You'd be like, you don't have to come in here talking shit. And then the guy who lived there, who was like 24, which was like really old, for like college. He was like this burly man who looked like the cave troll in Lord of the Rings. He's like, hey, fuck you, dude. And then my friend was like, hey, what the fuck? The troll thought like my friend said it or something like that. They started getting a fight. They tumble outside. The cops were already there. He gets arrested. And they both met each other at jail. It was like the greatest. It was it was.
Oh, how'd you get in here, Phil? And they're like, they both say Phil at the same time.
Yeah, it was basically me, and it was actually it was like the.
You never find out why she was wearing sunglasses?
I guess she was just higher.
I would be surprised if her boyfriend's hitting her because he seems like an aggressive guy.
Honestly,
to be honest,
it was a problematic place.
Yeah.
I will say this, just going back to the whole like catching up to your wife or whatever on like how much you care about the. I do think like hands down that a woman's relationship with the child is like it's not exponentially greater, but it's so intense off the bat.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. I don't think it's like completely biological.
Yeah.
Whereas a man, I think it's the biological stuff is there as well, but I think it's more because like I almost feel like if you adopted a newborn baby, you would grow the same love for it, but the mom could potentially grow more. Does that make sense? Like,
I definitely think I have a great attraction to him because he sort of looks like someone in my family.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of me just somewhere in there, like knowing that he's mine. But I think there is a little bit of like an education curve on like how you love them versus, I mean, there's like anxiety when you're detached as a mom and the kid and like whatever. And for the guy, I think we're a little bit more of like in a support role at first.
bro, did you know? So if a baby's heart rate is too fast, medically, you're supposed to give the baby to the mom, and the heart rate will just slow down.
More than the dad?
I don't think they even consider the dad.
Dude, they do
Medically.
not consider the dad for so much shit. After the baby was born, we're sitting in like the room, like overnight room. Emily was sleeping, and they're like, "We'll just come back." And I'm like, "I can fill out that form." And they're like, "No, just don't even. You're so stupid."
That's you're clearly an Indian guy, and that's a white baby.
Yeah, they're like, "This is."
We just don't know who you are.
We're not gonna get in this.
You have 2 first names.
Yeah. So I definitely think there's like a bias, and like rightfully so. I mean, like it's a little bit of like a learning curve. I am glad that like I felt like very proud of him right
I just
away.
realized your
but-
kid's name is Frank Mike.
Frankie, little
Frank
Francis.
Mike.
Yeah, Frankster, Frank the Tank. When he poops, we call him Frank and Beans. You know, so
That's fun.
yeah.
Did you think about the puns in deciding the name? I actually was curious, like how you came up with the names. Like, what are they family names with Zoe?
We liked Zoe. We thought it was cute. Michelle is after my grandma, who I saw die.
That's her middle name.
Yeah, her middle name.
And
And
saw die.
yeah, she died in my she was 100. I was there. She was in my parents' house, and she died. I saw her take her last breath.
Okay.
And then
What was
Barbag
it-
is the last name. No, I'm not supposed to say that.
I was gonna say, can you what was the last breath like? Can you do like an impression?
It was. I mean, she was like, yeah, it was kind of like that.
It's usually very.
Yeah.
And then she like fades into dust, and you know.
There was a
the
hospice
Avengers.
nurse, and she was like, "That was the last breath." Oh no, wait! And then there was another, and she's like, "Okay, that was the last breath."
Wait, that's from something. What is this from?
My joke. You probably heard me say
That is
it.
your joke?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good joke.
And
I was
she's
about to
like-
accuse you for stealing a great
Yeah,
joke.
yeah. Yeah. Someone else said that. Someone else was like, "Oh,
I'm
there
sorry
was
that
this
I even
joke."
brought up it was a bit instead of just letting you do it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And then, so like, instead of like watching my grandma die, I was just watching this nurse update her predictions. And when she finally got it, when my grandma finally died, I looked at the nurse and I was like, "Nice, you got it."
You got it right this time.
That time. Oh my
But
god.
it's kind of funny because like your baby's name is Zoe Michelle,
It's pretty funny.
Right.
and I'm like, oh, that's like the actress basically. But I think as a
Oh,
parent,
Deschanel?
yeah, but like as the parent, like I don't think you draw those conclusions. Like my brother's name is Michael Mike. Like I don't think my parents thought they
How
just
could
thought
you
it was
not
They
think
definitely
that?
thought that. That's crazy.
There's no way.
Well,
they're not that dumb.
They
I
definitely.
mean, yeah, they're Greek, but come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, they just thought it was cute. They didn't like have the magnitude of like, what are you doing? You know?
Frank squared.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
Mike squared, sorry.
I mean, we, our Francis is like a family kind of name on Emily's side, and like we have some connections with the name a little bit, but, and then the middle name is like my dad's middle name growing up. So,
What's interesting though is that you might have a hard time like being frank with your son.
ooh,
Because he's gonna be like, but I'm Frank. And you're gonna be like, can I be frank with you? And he's gonna be like, can I be frank with you?
yeah, it'll be like a whole
You
like,
can be frank with anyone you want, Frank.
oh, Yeah.
I do have to say, I should have said that because this is a note in my phone. I didn't know your son's name was Frank, so you can't steal my bit about.
okay, all right, and it's proof.
You can do it with him. I want him to grow up with my bit, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny because like as like if he acts like an old guy, we call him Frank or something like that. But I think we've been settling on like 3 different, like Frankie has sort of come up. The Frankster has been
Franklin is the full name.
Francis.
Francis.
Yeah,
Francis Mike actually has a nice ring to it.
dude, his middle name is Leonida because it was like my dad's middle name growing up. And so if when you look at his name on like a thing, it looks like he's like a fucking like European aristocrat.
Francis Leonida Mike.
Yeah, Mike kind of like
Yeah, Mike
sullies
is.
it.
Yeah.
Not exactly the
Michael.
right. Yeah.
I make it Michael. Anyway, fucking, what's your child's middle name? I don't even know if this is like information that we should put out there. What if they see? What if? I mean, there's nothing to steal yet. from their identity.
You already said his.
I said it.
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, that's right.
Yeah.
What's your middle name?
Joseph.
Whoa, 2 J's?
Yeah, and an S. Yeah.
Jack.
What's your first full name?
Jack.
That's just Jack?
Yeah, legally, yeah. But I'm named after my uncle whose name is John and everybody calls him Jack.
Yeah. That's a weird thing.
It's stupid. It's like, people say Jack's short for John. It's like, Jack's not short for, it's not short at all. It's not short or even.
Yeah, Jack is just a messed up John. It's just totally, it's not John. It's not John at all.
But both are used for like kind of a general term for a man.
Yeah.
You know? Like John is like the most common name. Did you know that Jack is the most common like hero name in a movie?
Jack Ryan.
Yeah. Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher. I can't think of any.
There's more. I just don't know their last
Dr.
names.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? No.
The most common villain name is Victor. Yeah, ironic.
Yeah, that is ironic.
Yeah, made me live together.
What's the most common woman name? Matilda?
No, I don't think anyone really even collects that data.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I've had this take about Sigourney Weaver needs more love as like a lead female protagonist.
Wait, who's Sigourney Weaver again?
A redhead.
No, she's an alien, the first alien. She was like she's the woman in the Alien series.
She was in Avatar. She was one of the avatars.
The older woman in Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm there.
But like, you've seen the movie Alien?
Yes.
With the thing popping out of the guy.
Yeah, of course.
She's the lead. She's like the badass in the movie, and that movie came out 44 years ago. And I'm just like, hey, that's a fucking great ass role. We should be like looking at that. That's like, you know, Sigourney is my favorite female protagonist.
You mean you just want more female action stars, basically?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think the template, I think, like, we have it. I just, like, you were saying, like, who's, like, the most commonly used female name and stuff, and, you know.
Sigourney.
Yeah, it's definitely not Sigourney.
Well, I think about, like, they tried to make Kate Beckinsale an action star.
Yeah, Underworld.
She is. I think isn't she in a
Van Helsing?
really long series? I think
Underworld.
I'm thinking of someone else.
No, Underworld. Is that's not the series you're thinking of?
Isn't there?
She's a vampire.
Maybe.
Yeah, she dated Pete Ferguson.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah. Should we do
Really?
like one dad joke?
Oh my god, I forgot about the dad joke
Yeah,
thing.
Phil, you're such
The
a
original
bad
idea
dad
was we all try to be silent, like while you each say a dad joke and see if any of them can get a laugh.
Yeah.
But that seems hard to do with 3 comedians. But
I just flew in from Boston, and boy, are my arms tired. Actually, in kindergarten I had to say that, and then the follow-up line was, "Dear ladies and germs." That was the first line. "Dear ladies and germs," which as a 5-year-old I didn't understand. I was like, I thought the ladies were the ones with the germs, the cooties.
Yeah.
And then
I just chlamydia.
Oh, it was chlamydia.
And 5th grade and 5-year-olds, yeah, for sure.
And then I just flew in from Boston, and boy, are my arms tired. I thought it meant like when I was a 5-year-old, when you sit in an airplane, the armrests were so high up. I was like, yeah, you're sitting like this.
What are you doing on this plane? You ever seen me on a plane?
Yeah, it is so weird, like the complete whiffs that you have as like a young kid. Like I used to think that the Gulf War happened in the Gulf of Mexico, which is why anyone talked about it. And I was like, wow,
that makes sense.
It was on our turf. Holy
shit!
shit!
Think of what things that I had like that. There were definitely a number of them. I really didn't know much.
Yeah, I'm trying not to confuse my daughter with that stuff. I'm trying to make things like obvious and not like I sometimes will say like, "Oh moon, where are you?" Like we're outside and she likes to look at the moon. But like that might be messing with her. She might be thinking, "Oh yeah, the moon can hear us."
Right.
Really? I don't. That'd be crazy.
No,
like, that's on her.
No, I mean you don't know anything in life, and someone you know is trying to talk to the moon.
Hey, so what if she talks to the moon?
Well, just she thinks the moon's can hear, and then she's gonna be like, "Wait, oh, it can hear," you know?
The moon's an idiot.
Should we end it on that? No, I got one.
This better be good.
It's not good. I actually wrote them myself, so I just
really. Oh, I didn't do any of that.
I mean, I knew them already. I used to say them on stage.
Let's hear it.
It is. I'm writing a book about overcoming foot pain. It's called The Agony of Defeat.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's fine. So it's good enough.
It's just a pun.
I liked it.
Yeah.
They're all just puns, really.
Yeah, I mean, and you also have to like say it like a douchebag.
Wait, I forgot where mine went. I had some.
It's like 4 hookers walk into a dead guy's apartment, wondering where their money is. A rabbi.
I gotta get my.
Is the food outside?
No, I gotta go pick it up, and then I gotta.
You gotta pick it up.
Oh, we should wrap then.
Yeah.
Should we end on a dad joke?
Mm-hmm. A dad
dad?
From
joke.
the non-dad, yeah.
Um,
Women be.
which days are the strongest?
Friday.
I have no idea.
Saturdays and Sundays, because the other days are weekdays.
Ooh.
And on that note, yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Would have been nice to end with a laugh. What a fun time on the Shrubbergans podcast with our guests, Phil, Mike, and Alex Barbag. Give it up for them, everybody.
Thank you.
You guys don't clap. We'll all of us will.
True. All right, I gotta go.
All right, bye.
Thanks.